Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and people of all binaries, I'm Wolfgang Wilcox, your friend from the UK, welcoming you back to Not For Broadcast. It is midnight, I've had a long day, I absolutely should not be fucking playing this right now, but fuck it anyway. Day 154, A Rude Awakening. The rhythmic beeping of the heart monitor brings you slowly back to consciousness. Opening your eyes, you are greeted by a semicircle of concerned faces. Your family by your side, a reassuringly familiar sight in these new surroundings. You blink a few times to clear the sleep from your eyes and bring everyone into focus. Oh yeah, I got knocked the fuck out by an electric shock and had a crazy hallucination where toys took over the world. So yeah, that was fun. You feel a hand on yours, gentle but reassuring. Sam is there with you as always. The expression, understandably concerned, is somehow more affectionate than ever. We knew you'd be okay, never doubted it for a second, and if I ever see that Bozeman, you squeeze their hand back and attempt to wink. The worry lines on Sam's forehead fade a bit. Lord knows you've both got enough to be anxious about without your health being thrown into the mix. With a final smile at them, you turn to the rest of your family. Just as you feel Susie's absence, you notice Charlie fidgeting, clearly trying not to look worried. As soon as you look at him, you see Charlie tense up. He's clearly battling hard to stay mad at you. You look expectantly at him, but he refuses to meet your gaze. He won't be out for now, why should... No, horrible attitude to have. I'm going to be fine. We'll be fighting again before you know it. Charlie looks at you and grins, one of those infectious smiles that spreads around the room. It's always good to have him in your corner. You smile phased as you notice your mother staring listlessly out the window. Despite your best efforts, she's not been doing well lately. Are you okay, Mum? Your mother starts, your call clearly shocking her out of her reverie. She turns to you and smiles, and you're grateful to see the increasingly rare recognition in her eyes. Yes, dear, of course. How are you feeling? You smile warmly and nod, but before you can respond, the doctor busts in and ushers everyone out. She asks you for what feels like the 100th time, how are you feeling? Surprisingly well, all things considered. Excellent. There's no sign of any real damage, just a bit of shock to the old system. Pardon the pun, she smiles. Not that we recommend you do anything like that again, of course. After a couple of days rest at home, you should feel right as rain. She turns to leave but stops at the door. Oh, and the private room and care? The doctor gestures to your room, which you now notice looks rather expensive. Has all been paid for by Mr. Bozeman. Good man. He left these flowers and said not to worry and take the rest of the week off. He'll see you on Monday, apparently. Seems like the least he could do. $180, a burden to bear. You come home from a particularly late shift to find the kitchen light still on, which isn't normally a good sign since everyone's usually in bed by now. Softly opening the kitchen door, you find Sam sat at the table. Bills and papers are strewn in front of them, as well as what looks like to be their second pack of biscuits. She gives you a quick kiss as you take a seat next to them. Sam frowns and goes back to the bill they're holding. Hey sweetheart, just looking at the numbers again. They look to the door to the pantry, now converted into your mother's bedroom. We've been doing our best, but I think Cassandra really needs a nurse to look after her now. Suddenly the bills are all you can see. Current wealth selling a kidney. Fucking hell. I've been staring at the numbers all night, tears in her eyes. Sam takes your hand. There's just no way we can afford it. kitchen table swims before you. Sam stands up and pulls you into a firm embrace, but all you can think of is your mother. How you can't afford to help her. What would your dad be thinking now? Is this the utopia Advance promised? You stare at the door to your mother's makeshift room. Tomorrow you'll need to tell the kids, and then book an appointment at the transition centre. What else could you have done? If you missed it, the transition centre is basically a government-funded assisted suicide place. For elderly in the last days of their lives. 201 letter home. Sam's out with work tonight and Charlie's staying at a friend's. The house is yours. You order a takeaway, have a couple of drinks, decide to relax in front of the TV. Not a great selection tonight, but surely something to watch. You feel like a laugh. Company it is. Sam's not here, but you can still watch a horror without them. You just want to switch off. Action thriller's the one. Sam isn't a fan of historical dramas, so you make the most of them being away. Fuck it, give me something to laugh about in this miserable existence. The humour's a bit hit and miss, but the joke about the Clin has you bent double in laughter. Kiln. Joke about the kiln. Wiping a tear from your eye, you spy something reflecting in the light of the TV under the coffee table. Curious, you reach down and bring it into the light. As you pick it up, you remember the note Sam left for you. Hey sweetheart, Charlie lost Susie's present. Would you mind looking for it tonight? As you hold it closer, you're surprised to find the gift's actually an engraved lighter for Chippy. She claims the nickname's affectionate, but Charlie still scowls every time she sees it. You're not sure Sam would approve. The accompanying note from Susie explains, Urkistan has a long tradition of glorifying the art of starting fires. Thought you'd like it. Don't do anything stupid. Hopefully it's just a souvenir and not a new pastime he's picked up or about to pick up. It's nice that she thought of him. That's going to go very fucking wrong. Day 232. How are things at home? Terrible, apparently. The silence. Oh, fuck's sake. Why won't you...
I mean it, Kath.
Stay where you are, Kath. Jenny?
This is not Jenny's decision, Jeremy, or yours.
I'll talk to both of them.
Oh, good. You can tell him I'll return his wife's casserole dish at our dinner next week. Jenny?
I'm sorry, Kath, we're gonna have to leave.
Letting it go to your head.
Oh, the third act one is fucked.
These days.
Feels it better, Jeremy, you know that. Just stop being so
Sorry,
high and
5,
mighty and do your job.
4,
You'll have me fine too.
3.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
The establishment strikes back. The World Council has agreed today to impose punitive sanctions on the people of this country.
The sanctions, which are broad-ranging, include restrictions on the supply of oil and gas, food, clothing, and even some medicines. But how should we react? We asked the public.
What are your reaction to the sanctions?
I think it's fucking outrageous. My mom needs insulin. Am I supposed to get her transitioned? What's the government doing about it, eh?
Thanks, Patrick. Fascinating stuff.
Popular Prime Minister Julia Salisbury has released a reassuringly brave statement in response to the World Council's controversial announcement.
This international declaration is nothing short of outrageous. We are a democratically elected government with massive popular support. We do not recognise these sanctions, and we encourage other socially progressive nations of the world to both resist and ignore them. Advance have struck fear into the heart of the international community by showing that it is possible to have radical change for the betterment of the many. And whilst I wish we could improve other countries as much as we have our own, we do not rely on the help of others to thrive. This country is entirely self-sufficient. We are a team, now more than ever. And this team is on your side. Thank you.
Defiant stuff. But what do you, the public, think of our government's stance? Robin Short found out.
I was wondering if you could tell me what you think of the government.
What? That shower of iridescent pricks, punishing success and rewarding laziness, they're taking this country down the bloody Swanee. And it's not just me that thinks so. My wife Iris, she agrees.
Over to you, fellas. Global mega corporation Remington's Fist today announced that trials have successfully completed on their groundbreaking male contraceptive product, Responsibility.
The drug has been passed by the government for general release, but the small print warns that, in rare cases, side effects can include blurred vision, enlarged genitalia, and increased risk of stroke. No double entendre intended.
But what do you, the public, think of Sophia Remington's latest venture? Patrick?
Would you take the male contraceptive pill?
No, mate. Her body, her baby, her problem.
How progressive of you.
What'd you say?
Nothing. Huh?
Pipers at the gates of dawn. Commuters in the capital this morning found themselves surprised and amused by the latest stunt from popular pressure group Disrupt.
Silent protests were held outside underground stations throughout the capital, bringing a pleasantly surreal quality to the morning commute.
Unless, like me, you have a phobia of mimes.
But how do we, as a country, really feel about Disrupt? Robin?
How do you feel about Disrupt?
Ah, well, now you're talking. Ruddy hero, showing us not to take it lying down like Iris here.
So you both feel they're a cause worth supporting?
Well, Iris doesn't speak online, but we're pretty sure there's still one in there, aren't we, love? Wherever it is, it loves Disrupt, fighting the oiks for our freedom. And what could possibly be wrong with that?
Do you need me to get you some help?
Bubbling up, intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and Dr. Ingrid Svorsborg-Hawkinsford today sent a blueprint of the escape craft in which they hope to finally leave Dante's taint.
With expert opinions of the plan running the gamut from optimistically engineered to that looks like something my granddad made in his shed, it sounds like the unfortunate team are going to need all the thoughts and prayers they can get.
So what should we think about the escape plan? Patrick Bannon again.
Yeah, don't worry, they're going to cut all this, aren't they? It's disgusting. Right. Oh, Jesus, wet. Christ, have you thought about quitting smoking?
Right. No, I'm fine now.
Okay.
What were we talking about?
The trapped scientists.
Oh, yeah, right.
Brilliant.
I am not a number. Applications finally opened today for the new Advanced Team membership cards, a scheme by the government to allow fast access to all the new public services being introduced daily.
The team membership cards are entirely voluntary, but will be recognised as legal identification by all major organisations, including the police, banks and, rightfully, pubs and bars.
And of course, there's no charge, Jeremy.
That all seems too good to be true.
Well, you've always been a cynic. But most importantly, what should you, the public, think about the new team membership cards?
Team membership cards.
Oh, yeah, fantastic. I'm applying today. I mean, why wouldn't you? What are these protesters doing that they don't want us to know who their names are? Besides, have you seen the savings you can get? I'm getting one for the little one as well.
Oh, how adorable.
Yeah, gonna be a proper little team member, aren't you? Yes, he smiled. He smiled.
And finally tonight, back of the net, popular sports personality Johnny Hounsleeves and his fiancée Tiffany Lamour was spotted out today doing a little shopping, what many are already calling the greatest wedding ever.
We can only assume that Tiffany's latest show, My Teenage Secretions, has sold better than expected, as by the looks of things, the whole affair's about to become more expensive than Lil C's shoe collection.
I don't know who that is.
But what should your opinion be of this extravagant display of wealth?
Oh my god, fantastic!
Wise words there.
Later tonight, in a bit of a switcheroo, it'll be Jeremy in the culture chair, spitting rhymes with popular rapper Jay Zus. And then we'll both be chatting with a familiar team of thespians set to take the nation by storm again.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National
Nightly
Nightly
News.
Oh, shit.
First tonight, thankfully, some news as we return to our main story.
The World Council today agreed that punitive and potentially illegal sanctions should be imposed upon this country. The sanctions, which come into effect immediately, aim to stop the flow of food, fuel, and even some medicines from reaching your pockets.
Tonight, we have guests from across the continent to discuss this unprecedented situation. For advance, Peter Clement is at his home in Lamfordshire. Are you there, Peter?
Yes, I can hear you, Jeremy. Thank you for having me.
A momentous day, Prime Minister. Are you shaken?
Now, I don't scare that easy, I'm afraid, old son. And neither do the people of this country.
Well, joining us is Ivan Vodovich, Foreign Minister of Urkistan. Ivan, thank you for being here.
Great pleasure. You, Megan Wolf, are like strongest guard at labor camp who wake up inside body of crazy, expensive prostitute. In my country, you will be worshipped as a god.
Okay.
Minister, as one of those arguing most strongly for these sanctions, how do you feel about Advance's defiant stance?
Vance is like man who think he have big career in movies land, when actually he in dirty sanitarium, screaming at mirror and holding tiny penis in hand.
He's clearly not from Svenland, and we have like some of the cleanest mental health facilities in the continent, yeah.
And welcome to Svenland's Minister of Mojo, Björk. I'm sorry, we don't appear to have your surname.
It's just Björk, yeah. We don't use things like socially divisive surnames here, yeah.
Minister?
It's just Björk, yeah.
Right, Björk. Your country spoke in favour of Advance at the World Council today, but you were noticeably absent when it came to the actual vote.
Well, what a surprise. The hippies didn't show up for the fight.
Actually, that's quite racist, because if you must know, we were going to go to the whole, like, vote thing, yeah. But it's actually the Festival of Fureland here at the moment, where we honor the old generations. So, like, we all had to work our grandparents' linear whilst the vote was happening, and that's like a really, really time-consuming process, actually.
You're like a sissy man. You have this expression, sissy man? It's like man with tiny penis who like to wash more than once a week.
Actually, that's quite homophobic, yeah,
Oh,
because...
stop winding him up, Ivan. We're not back at the Grange now. Sorry, Jeremy. Ivan and I used to play golf back in my media days.
Yeah, he always wins.
Nothing gives him greater pleasure than grinding people's gears. The more publicly, the better.
Peter, you're like man with tiny penis who think he have tiny penis, but actually he discovered that. Oh, could it be? No, it's tiny penis.
Ivan's just worried that when the rest of the world sees how well we're doing, they'll notice all that dosh that he's got squirreled away. Because that's what these sanctions are, Megan. They're the last pathetic gasp of an establishment in collapse. Wolves at the gates, Ivan, old mate.
Good. They can join others on my wall.
Actually, in Svenland, we have, like, serious animal welfare legislation. And, like, my friend Helga, she got arrested, yeah, for killing a butterfly that was hovering over her heel thing. I mean, in English, jam sandwich.
I used to know a girl called Jam Sandwich. She was a right cracker, too. What became of her?
We seem to be wandering a little from the news here.
That's human interest, Jeremy. The real people behind the headlines and all that. So if you're watching, Jan, give us a call.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see if we can't organise a reunion.
Christ, I'm not sure about that. I'll have to run it past Mrs. Clement first, eh?
Peter, you're like man trying to empty ashes of mistresses into oncoming vein. Soon you have tiny penis and beard full of secrets.
In Finland, we don't really go into all that restricted monogamy stuff here. We're kind of fluid, actually.
Okay, well, it seems that we are running out of time.
Yes, so before we go to the break,
Yes,
and briefly,
please,
if you would,
move
gentlemen,
on.
with the people of this country facing shortages and power
Possible shortages and power outages.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Possible shortages and power outages. Can you summarise your thoughts for us, Minister Beard?
Well, from here, yeah, you all look a bit stupid really arguing about outdated divisive concepts like money. In Finland, we replaced currency with a system of bodily fluids back in the 1970s, and that's like a really hard to sanction, actually.
Thank you, Minister Vortifict.
Your country is like man who think he invented perfect trap for giant Newton-hairy bear. When really he just standing in field
Holding his tiny penis, yes. Thank you, Minister. And finally, Prime Minister Clement.
Let me talk to your viewers here, Jeremy.
Oh, God.
Don't worry, everybody. Don't be afraid. Don't even lose a wink of sleep. We knew the rest of the world would react this way, and we're ready. As my old man used to say, you can't make a shite pie without blocking a few toilets.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
Reassuring words there.
We'll be back
after these messages.
1 minute back.
Hey, Peter, I over your way this weekend. You fancy a quick 9?
Yeah, sure, front or back.
That's what I hope you're asking Megan Wolf for me.
She's out of your league, mate.
Thank you for the correction.
Well, you have to be more careful.
It's all part of his long-term plan to get fired live on the news at 6 in front of the nation.
Can someone warn him it's going a little too well?
Hey, A+, excellent.
This is important. New government censorship should show up in blue. Same as regular censoring.
Oh,
Keep an
fucking
eye out for
hell.
the advanced blue waveform.
Are you still meant to bow to foreign royalty?
What?
Should I just like curse?
Hang on. Have they given you the Crown Prince report?
What?
Megan?
This is Jeremy, and he'll be interviewing you.
Yo, thanks for having me on your show, man.
It's quite all right.
Yo, just a quick one. You're not going to ask me about the chimp, are you?
5 and 10 seconds.
He put that get up on himself. Just saying.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I'm Megan Wolf. Later, we have an exclusive first look at a theatrical sensation everyone's going to be talking about. But first, it's time to go over to the culture spot with lovely old Jeremy Donaldson, who's joined by a very special guest. Jeremy?
Thanks, Megan. I have the honour and privilege of being joined by hip-hop royalty. He's been called the son of the streets and the father of truth. Not sure how that works, but whatever. Let's welcome Jesus!
Hi, thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, it's a real honor to be here on your show, The News. You know, as a kid on the streets, I used to watch you through a window of the shop, so to be here right now is crazy.
You've had quite the journey to be here today. Can you tell us about it?
Well, you know, I try not to, well, you know, the past is the past, so I don't like to dwell on it.
I understand.
But yeah, man, the streets is all I remember. Like, my mother donated me to a charity shop soon after I was born. You know, she let me sleep on a pile of crime fiction until I taught myself how to walk.
Wow, that's quite the childhood.
And she died tragically. Right there in my arms, man. You know, I remember a tear falling as she lay there next to the youth homeway. And in that moment, I became a child of the streets. I was just 18 months old.
What a tale. What a tale. You're known for your direct and honest lyrics. Was your style informed by your troubled past?
Oh, like I said, I try not to talk about it. It's just but my first album is about the story of the first 4 times I stole, so I wouldn't starve. A small group of infants came to see me as their de facto leader. They call me Mr. Cheese Snacks. Anyway, we were like a family.
So I would see. Recently, you've been quite outspoken about the government.
Yeah, fuck the government. Fuck Advance. Fuck Peter Clement.
What is it that you object to so vehemently?
Well, you know, they stole from us. They're taking our money and spending it, man.
Redistributing it? Actually, homelessness has been all but eliminated in the last couple of months.
So?
Surely that's a cause close to your heart?
Yeah, nah, of course, man, very much so. I just mean, like, why do I have to pay for it, you know?
You don't. People have been rehoused on property seized from the historically wealthy. And that couldn't have been you, could it?
Look, I worked hard to be here. I built this from nothing, and I deserve to be rewarded for that.
Would you say you worked harder than, say, a farmer or a care worker?
No.
Oh, this is going to kick off, isn't it?
My music, choose to value it, buy it. Who's to say I don't? And no one can take that away from me.
Not even to help, say, vulnerable children, Mr. Jesus.
What is it you're trying to say?
I just don't understand where you've placed yourself politically. I mean, is it ideological or is it tactical?
Well, it's more of
Or
like...
maybe it's hereditary.
Stop trying to tie me in knots.
Hey, easy there, Jeremy.
The music speaks for itself. And the people agree with me.
Well, that remains to be seen. But you have given me a very easy segue out of a conversation that I promise you was much more painful for me than it was for you. So here he is with his hit song, Mrs. Ludlow's Tears.
Oh no, I'm going to do something a little different. It's a new single I've been working on.
Oh, so this is unapproved, is it?
Yeah, you love it.
Excellent. Don't worry, we've got a state-of-the-art censorship system. What's the worst that could happen? So here he is with a new song. Aren't we lucky? It's Jesus!
First, you're gonna pay up. You're gonna pay back.
It's going to be a big old fuck the government song that I have to
Well, we're all
censor,
different
isn't it?
races from many different places. At any given moment, only one could be the greatest. So you can feel the elation from your participation. Still 2 leaders in this motherfucking nation. Now we're getting sanctioned, talking about expansion. Why does Julie S require a massive fucking mansion? So fuck all your schemes. I don't need your freaky team, and I don't need your help to achieve my fucking dreams. So don't make a fuss when you find you're one of us. Yeah, every single one of you's a bit Jesus. And you can call me crazy, cause no one ever pays me. But I won't waste a lifetime being motherfucking lazy. I may be inventive, my taste may be expensive. But why would I get out of bed with no fucking incentive? Although it's contravention of your obvious intention. I like to eat a little of the fruits in my invention. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. The best of the praise, of the crest of the wave. Cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Take his facts, gonna stain it red. Gonna slam it into Peter Clement's motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. It's time to stall the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. So this is for the snub ones, the pushed and the shoved ones, the folks that feel the burden of their motherfucking loved ones. Ones who had plenty like a motherfucking Bentley. The ones who now finding that their bank accounts are empty. The ones of aspiration, who had to flee a nation. The ones who built a business out of dreams of perspiration. There's all sorts of people, the good and the evil. It only takes a glance to see we're not all equal. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. And the best of the praise, of the crest of the waves. Cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Gonna take this fact, gonna stain it red. Gonna gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to fall across with a motherfucking pitchfork. Get out of your seats, get your asses in the streets. Set a fire in the building, let them feel some fucking heat. Take your hate to go getters, you're squilling better letters, and burn them on the powers of advances fucking letters. Gonna take his facts, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to steal the castle with the motherfucking pitchfork. Chase that dream, you don't need a fucking team. And advance his little dances aren't as harmless as it seems. Cause they're stale and corrupt, then your anger erupt. Let your hearts and your minds and your fists to destruct.
Jesus there with his new song. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio. I'm sorry. I may not agree with you, but I'd just like to offer you an apology. I've just been told that there was some kind of issue upstairs, and an attempt was made to censor some of your notes.
What? Are you joking?
I'd just like to say to you and everyone at home that this was a mistake.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe this.
Here at the National Nightly News, we pride ourselves on remaining neutral, unbiased, and independent of any outside interference. You have my word. We will never censor ideas. Back to you, Megan.
Well, a bit of dangerous language there, sorry about that. Well, thank you to little Jeremy Donaldson for providing our culture spot. Coming up, we'll be speaking to a couple of familiar faces about their upcoming dramatic outing. Don't go away.
Just a reminder, fixing that old VCR. Number 10, last ad break.
Come with me.
No, this is ridiculous. Who do I complain to?
This is just a mix-up, I'm sure. Now, if you come with me, I really do have to ask
Oh,
you to
trust
leave
me.
it.
My father's going to hear about this.
I understand. This is unbelievable, Megan.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jeremy.
D. Well, it's not the lowest. Lee says that.
No, here we go.
Oh, shut up here.
Look at him.
If we could just get you in position.
Oh, say no more. Say no more.
Megan, Jeremy, do you remember Mr. Algebra?
Vividly.
And Mr. Harris, and this is Ms. Raiden.
What?
Philippa, please.
They're back together again, eh? Who'd have thought it?
Oh, this is the fucking
Yes, it is awfully exciting, isn't it?
student
Right,
performance
okay
again,
then.
isn't it?
We're going live in 10 seconds, opening on camera 1.
The Hey Friendship lot.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back, and no, you're not mistaken. Sitting across from us are some very familiar faces.
You really are too kind, Megan. It was only a yogurt commercial, but I'm still proud of it.
Here to talk about his new show, we're joined by National Treasure Tommy Harris, the National Theatre's Philippa Raiden, and National Deficit Jeff Algebra.
It's so lovely to have you all. Tommy, would you like to tell us about the show?
You know what? I'd bloody love to. It's about me. It's about my life.
And where did the idea come from?
So, right, picture this. Their legs akimbo, mid-session, sweat is pouring out of me like an immense hog. And then Cindy comes in, she says, Pete's on the phone.
That's Peter Clement, the Prime Minister.
Yeah, Pete's actually a really good mate of mine.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, no, he comes to the training sometimes. He's actually a pretty good goal sweeper. Anyway, so, yeah, Pete, he says, Toby, he thinks my name's Toby, see? He says, how would you like to spread your message of team spirit and cooperation across this fractured nation? How would you like to really make a difference in these desperate times?
What did he say?
Yeah, right, yeah.
So, Jeff, the question on everyone's lips is, what in God's name are you doing here?
Well, after the success of my debut work and all the people that I've touched, I knew that I had a career in theatre. Yeah? I've always been an admirer of Tommy from afar. So when my manager phoned and said I'd been offered a gig as director, I was ecstatic. I whipped my trousers off and got straight to work.
Why did you do that?
I do all my best work with my trousers off.
Yeah, I've been told that too.
No, I wouldn't say so. Right, Tommy, sorry, would you just give us a sense of what the show is actually about?
It's about how hard it's been for me and some of the struggles that I've faced. It's like really getting to the heart of how tough it is to be me. I call it Tommy Harris. Jesus, that was hard.
We actually have some clips of the process of the show. Would you mind telling us what's going on here?
Yeah, so the show is built around two things that are very important to me. It mixes scenes from my life as well as epic fantasy retellings of scenes from my life.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
I'm sorry, son. You're an embarrassment.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
Back, demon! Back to the hells!
Philippa, what's it been like co-starring with Tommy Harris?
I've always dreamed of treading the boards at medium-scale regional theatres, Megan. And for once, this show really gives me something to sink my teeth into.
What's different about this show, then?
Tommy, Mr. Harris's show really lets me show my tremendous range as an actor. I've always suffered from typecasting, forced to play the same tired characters in every god-awful yogurt advert or godforsaken soap opera or, God forbid, a pantomime. But, you know, this show has really let me just go there.
Jeff, the viewers at home will be dying to know exactly what is it that you bring to the show.
Good question. I think these guys would agree with me when I say that it's my steady hand on the tiller, my arm round the shoulder approach that's really brought the production from strength to strength.
Absolutely right. Jeff's contributions are immeasurable. He was our rock.
Can you give us a sneak peek of anything else that might be in the show?
Yeah, all sorts, yeah.
We've got lots of exclusive first-hand experiences of Tommy's time in the underground sports scene.
And some epic fantasy retellings of Tommy's time in the underground sports scene.
You'll never take the sacred pass!
And am I right in saying this was officially commissioned by the government?
Yeah, all paid for by the taxpayer, which, you know, to be honest, is actually a lifesaver, really.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that without Advance's support, we'd have had to cut the finale.
Which, frankly, would have been a travesty.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ!
Goodness, you do this every night.
Absolutely. It's a metaphor.
For what?
Death.
And the public are footing the bill, are they?
Too bloody right they are. Between the cost of my tour bus and the dry cleaning of my ties, I'm barely scraping a profit here.
Amazing. And where can the folks at home come and see this for themselves?
We're performing all over the nation.
And people can see it for absolutely free, all courtesy of Advance. Isn't that incredible, Jeremy?
Yes, it's unbelievable.
Well, thank you all so much for coming. Next time we see you, no doubt you'll have taken our jobs.
Yeah.
That's all we have time for tonight. Join us tomorrow when I'll be interviewing the world's most attractive horse. I'm Jeremy Donson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. And from all of us here, have a peaceful night.
That's the ads. Let's get reset for tomorrow, please.
Hey, we must stop bumping into each other like this, eh?
Oh.
Huh. Another A+. I think that's the best I've done. In fact, I know for a fact it's the best I've done. Hey! Let's see the info then. All offensive words censored, interference-free show, exceedingly poor edit, Advance happy with the broadcast. I I've received a small bonus. Current wealth. Crippling debt, which is an upgrade. Opinions of advance are down, disruption up, and the boss loves me again. Lovely. And that's about all the time I have for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and good night out there, whatever you are.